Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Daily English Talk Podcast.
I'm Emma.
I'm Alex.
And we are so excited for today's episode because we're talking about something really, really big.
Yeah.
Something that can honestly change your life.
I like that.
Reading and writing.
Two things.
Yeah, two very, very simple things.
Yeah, but when you think about it, like the people who shape our world the most, the people who are really out there.
The innovators, the leaders, the great thinkers.
Yeah, all of them engage so deeply with the written word.
They're either consuming it or they're creating it or both.
Yeah, and it's interesting though, because in today's world, it feels like the space for really diving into a good book or taking the time to
Write something down.
write something down is shrinking.
Yeah.
Because we're constantly buzzing notifications, things are going off.
Yeah.
We're always moving, we're always doing something.
But that's why it's so important to understand that reading and writing
Yeah.
aren't just skills.
They're like superpowers.
They unlock
Yeah.
hidden abilities. Yeah.
So for example, reading, it's not just about absorbing information.
It's about changing how you think.
Yeah, it rewires how you think and how you connect ideas.
Yeah.
And then writing, that's where you can take those swirling thoughts and make them tangible,
Yeah.
make them clear.
I love that.
And the best part is that you don't need any special equipment.
Yeah. You don't need to be like a professional writer to write, and you don't need to have some special library card to read.
All you need is a library card
Yeah. And a notebook,
and a
a
notebook.
pen and paper,
Yeah.
and you're good to go.
So today, that's what we're going to explore.
Yeah.
Why are these acts of reading and writing so powerful?
What are some unexpected benefits that come with them?
And most importantly, how can you weave these practices into your daily life?
We'll share some of our own experiences.
Yeah.
Maybe a few fun facts that we've come across.
Maybe a couple
Yeah, a couple.
practical tips
Practical tips.
to help you get started no matter where you are right now.
Uh,
Whether you're multitasking on your commute, relaxing at home, just stay with us. Because this could be the conversation that nudges you to rediscover the power of the written word.
Absolutely.
So let's start with a really fundamental question.
Okay.
In a world that's saturated with information, with multimedia,
Yeah.
why do reading and writing still matter so much?
I love that question.
You know, I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
It seems like
Especially today.
with the rise of video and audio content,
Yeah.
the written word might seem
Less crucial.
less crucial, less important.
Yeah.
But if you really look closely,
Yeah.
words are still the building blocks of pretty much everything we do.
Yeah, think about it. Emacs, text messages, even the social media that we scroll through.
It's all text.
Yeah.
It's all words.
It's all words.
So the ability to engage with that text effectively
Yeah.
by understanding it deeply and by expressing yourself clearly through it feels more vital than ever.
Yeah.
Because we're swimming in it.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And that's a really interesting point about the sheer volume
Yeah.
of text that we see every single day.
Yeah.
And it's not just about formal communication,
Right.
like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Like emails, text messages. But even in casual conversations or online interactions,
Yeah.
the better you are at understanding the nuance of language and articulating your own thoughts, the more effectively you can connect with others.
Yeah. I totally agree.
So let's zoom in on reading first.
Okay.
What's one of the core benefits that really jumps out to you about reading?
For me, it's like the sheer access to knowledge and perspectives.
Yeah,
Like every book, every article is like a window into a different world, a different
Yeah.
way of
a
thinking.
different set of experiences.
Yeah, it's like having countless mentors and teachers available at your fingertips.
Yeah, and that's why you see so many
So many.
like highly successful people across different fields like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, even Elon Musk.
Yeah.
They all have these voracious reading habits.
It's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence they understand that continuous learning and exposure to new ideas is critical for growth.
Yeah.
I remember reading that Warren Buffett apparently dedicates around 5 hours each day to reading.
5 hours.
5 hours.
It's a huge chunk of time.
Yeah, that's a lot of time
Yeah.
to carve out of your day just for absorbing information and ideas.
Yeah, but the encouraging thing is you don't need to commit 5 hours to see the benefits.
Yeah.
Even dedicating a focused 10 to 15 minutes a day to reading something meaningful
Yeah.
can have a huge impact on your focus, your vocabulary, and even your stress levels.
So it's not about the amount of time.
It's about
It's about the consistency.
consistency. Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be these dense academic texts.
Right.
It could be engaging with well-crafted articles,
Yeah.
insightful blog posts, even compelling fiction can broaden your horizons and sharpen your mind.
Yeah, and I think it's also about being an active reader. Right, so really engaging with the material rather than passively letting your eyes scan the page or listening to it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So now let's switch gears and talk about writing.
Okay.
Why is the act of putting our thoughts into words so essential?
Well, for me, writing is where the internal becomes external.
I like that.
Yeah, it forces you to take those often nebulous thoughts swirling around in your head and give them structure, clarity, and form.
It's a powerful tool for self-organization.
I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah.
I started journaling a while back, and it's been amazing for processing my emotions and gaining clarity on complex situations.
So when you write it down,
Yeah.
you're essentially having a conversation with yourself.
Yeah, and that act of externalizing your thoughts can be really revealing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and it's not just about personal reflection either.
Right.
Think about the creative aspect of writing, whether it's crafting a poem, telling a story, even just writing a witty social media caption.
Yeah.
The ability to express yourself creatively through writing can capture attention and connect with others in really impactful ways.
Absolutely. And let's not overlook the professional advantages.
Yeah.
Because in so many fields, clear and effective written communication is paramount.
Yeah. Think about crafting a compelling job application or writing a concise and persuasive email.
Yeah.
Good writing can significantly impact your opportunities.
Absolutely. I think about job applications all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine two candidates that have similar qualifications.
Yeah.
But the one who can articulate their skills and experiences in a clear, compelling narrative,
Yeah.
they're going to make a strong impression.
Much stronger impression.
Yeah. So ultimately,
Yeah.
reading and writing aren't just these academic exercises.
Right.
They're fundamental life skills that contribute to personal growth, professional success,
Yeah.
and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us,
I love that.
and the journey to improvement.
Yeah.
It's not about some innate talent you either have or you don't.
Right. It's about building consistent habits.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now that we've laid the groundwork for why reading and writing matter so much, let's delve into some of the specific, maybe even surprising benefits that come with making these a regular part of your life.
I'm excited to dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of reading and writing.
Right.
But now let's explore some of the really fascinating ways that reading in particular can impact us,
Yeah.
going beyond just acquiring information.
I think a lot of people see reading as purely transactional.
Yeah.
You read something to learn something new,
Yeah.
but the impact goes so much deeper than that.
Yeah, it affects our brains, our emotions, even our daily routines.
So let's start with a really significant benefit.
Okay,
Reading can actually make you smarter.
that's right.
It might sound too good to be true,
Yeah.
but when you really think about it, reading exposes your brain to this constant stream
Yeah.
of new information, diverse perspectives, and complex ideas.
It's constantly challenging your brain.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a mental workout.
Mhm.
Whether you're diving into a historical account,
Yeah.
exploring a philosophical argument, getting lost in a fictional world,
Yeah.
you're constantly challenging your brain and expanding its capacity.
I love that.
Yeah.
And reading also directly impacts your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Every time you encounter a new word in context, your brain has to work to understand its meaning.
Yeah.
And over time, these words become part of your own lexicon, enriching both your speaking and your writing abilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is particularly important for English language learners
Right.
because immersing yourself in English through reading,
Right.
whether it's novels, blogs, articles,
Yeah.
exposes you to natural language patterns and vocabulary in a way that traditional memorization can't replicate.
Absolutely.
So we're building a case here that reading
Yeah.
enhances cognitive function.
Right.
But here's a benefit that often surprises people.
Okay, what is it?
Reading can be a powerful stress reducer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's research that shows that as little as 6 minutes of reading can lower stress levels by a significant margin.
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some studies say up to 70%.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. And the reason it works is likely because when you're engaged in a book, your focus shifts away from your own worries and anxieties.
Right. It provides a form of mental escape.
Yeah. And it's almost like a form of meditation
Yeah.
where your attention is directed to the narrative
Right.
or the information that's in front of you.
Yeah.
And it helps to silence that internal noise of stress.
Yeah.
Whether it's the immersive world of a fictional novel that lets you escape reality for a bit,
Right.
or a nonfiction book that really captures your interest and shifts your focus,
Yeah.
the act of reading provides that much-needed mental break.
Yeah.
Here's another benefit that I think is incredibly important in our digitally distracted world. Reading improves focus and concentration.
Yes.
When you're engrossed in a book,
Yeah.
you're training your brain to sustain attention for extended periods.
Yeah.
And this is in contrast to the constant switching of tabs and notifications that characterize so much of our online experience.
Yeah.
It's like giving your brain a workout in sustained attention.
Yeah. I love that.
And this mental discipline that you develop through reading can carry over into other areas of your life.
Right.
It can help you concentrate at work
Yeah.
during conversations
Yeah.
when you're working on complex tasks.
Absolutely.
And this next benefit is one that I find particularly compelling.
Okay. Tell me.
Reading can make you more empathetic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that.
This is where fiction really shines.
Okay.
Because when you step into the shoes of different characters,
Right.
you experience their thoughts and emotions.
Yeah.
And you develop a deeper understanding of different perspectives and the complexities of human experience.
Right.
And that's really what empathy is all about, is
Yeah.
understanding how other people think and feel.
Yeah. And when you read about characters from different backgrounds facing different challenges, you cultivate that greater sense of empathy and compassion.
It allows you to see the world through someone else's eyes,
Yeah.
even if their experiences are vastly different from your own.
Yeah. And in a world that sometimes feels increasingly polarized,
Yeah,
that ability to understand and connect with different perspectives is more crucial than ever.
it's so important.
Yeah. Both in our personal relationships and in navigating broader social issues.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And finally, let's touch on a more practical benefit.
Okay.
Reading can actually contribute to better sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've heard that establishing a reading routine before bed is a much healthier way to wind down
Yeah.
than scrolling through social media.
Absolutely. The blue light emitted from screens
Yeah.
can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, which is a hormone that regulates sleep.
So put down your phone, pick up a book,
Pick up a book.
or an e-reader with a warm light setting.
Yeah,
And that can really help your mind relax and prepare for sleep.
absolutely. And I imagine that it also helps to divert your attention away from the day's worries and to-do lists,
Yeah.
allowing your mind to kind of settle down
Yeah,
before you try to drift off.
exactly.
Yeah, so if you find yourself struggling to fall asleep, try incorporating reading into your bedtime routine.
Yeah.
It could make a significant difference.
Okay, so just to recap,
Yeah.
because that was a lot of information.
Yeah, we talked about a lot.
So reading makes you smarter.
Yeah, it expands your vocabulary.
It reduces stress.
Yeah, even just a few minutes can help.
It improves your focus and concentration.
Yeah, in a world full of distractions.
It helps you to foster empathy.
By allowing you to experience different perspectives.
And it contributes to better sleep when done before bed.
Yeah.
If those aren't compelling reasons to pick up a book,
I don't know what are.
I don't know what are.
So now let's shift gears and talk about writing.
Okay.
If reading is the intake,
Yeah.
writing is the output.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has its own equally impressive set of advantages.
So often,
Right.
writing is seen as this formal, sometimes intimidating activity.
Yeah.
But the truth is,
Yeah.
it's a fundamental skill.
Yeah.
And it has benefits that extend far beyond just crafting perfect prose.
Absolutely. Let's start with one core benefit: clarity of thought.
I like that.
Yeah.
Clarity of thought.
Have you ever felt like you have this jumble of ideas in your head,
Yeah.
but you can't quite make sense of them?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Yeah, the act of writing forces you to organize those thoughts,
Yeah.
to articulate them in a logical sequence.
And when you do that, you gain a much clearer understanding of what you actually think and believe.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I find this incredibly true. Like
Yeah.
when I'm grappling with a complex problem
Yeah.
or I'm feeling overwhelmed by emotions, the simple act of writing everything down in a journal can garner an amazing sense of clarity.
Yeah, it's a way to declutter the mind.
Yeah, it helps you to identify patterns, understand the root causes,
Yeah.
and make better decisions.
And that clarity in your own thinking translates directly
Yeah.
into clearer communication with others.
Yeah.
Whether it's writing a concise email, delivering a well-structured presentation,
Yeah.
even just articulating your ideas in a conversation.
Yeah.
The ability to organize your thoughts on paper strengthens your overall communication skills.
Definitely in the professional world, being able to write clearly and persuasively is a huge asset. Think
Yeah.
about like crafting a compelling resume
Yeah.
or writing a report that effectively conveys complex information.
Yeah.
Those are skills that can significantly impact your career trajectory.
Here's another benefit I think is really fascinating.
Okay.
Writing can actually improve your memory and learning.
Tell me more about that.
Well, studies have shown that the act of physically writing something down,
Yeah.
especially by hand,
Okay.
engages different parts of your brain than simply reading or typing.
Right.
And this deeper processing can lead to better retention of information.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I always feel like when I take handwritten notes during a lecture or a meeting, I remember the key points much better than if I just passively listen.
Yeah.
It's like the act of writing it down cements it in your brain.
Yeah. And you see this practice in the habits of many successful people
Yeah.
who regularly jot down to-do lists,
Right.
ideas, reflections. It's a way of solidifying information and making it more accessible in the future.
Yeah, and let's not forget the creative power of writing.
Yeah.
Even if you don't consider yourself a creative person,
Yeah.
the act of putting ideas down on paper can spark new connections
Yeah.
and lead to innovative solutions.
Yeah.
It's a way of brainstorming and exploring possibilities without judgment.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even know what you're going to write.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it just flows out.
Yeah, I found that sometimes when I sit down to write with no specific goal in mind, just letting my thoughts flow onto the page, unexpected ideas and insights often emerge.
Yeah, it's like the act of writing itself
Yeah,
unlocks new pathways in your thinking.
I love that.
And finally, let's touch on the therapeutic benefits of writing.
Yeah,
This is so important, writing about your emotions.
yeah.
Whether it's in a private journal or through creative expression, can be a really powerful tool for emotional processing and regulation.
Yeah, research has actually linked expressive writing to lower stress levels, improved mental health, even enhanced immune function.
Wow.
It's like giving yourself permission to acknowledge and process difficult emotions in a safe and private space.
Yeah.
And even just writing a few sentences about what you're grateful for can have a positive impact on your overall well-being.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to recap the benefits of writing,
Yeah, let's recap.
it brings clarity to your thoughts.
And helps you to organize them effectively.
It enhances your communication skills.
Both written and verbal,
It improves memory and learning through deeper cognitive processing.
it boosts creativity,
Yeah. By sparks.
sparking new ideas and connections,
And it aids in emotional processing.
leading to better mental and even physical health.
It's clear that the act of writing offers a wealth of benefits
Yeah.
that extend far beyond just putting words on a page.
Right, and the great news is that just like with reading, anyone can start to incorporate more writing into their lives today.
Yeah.
You don't need to aim for perfection. The key is simply to begin.
And now that we've explored the why, let's get into the how.
How?
Yeah.
Love it.
Practical strategies for building strong reading and writing habits.
Okay, so we know why reading and writing are so beneficial.
Right.
But turning that knowledge into consistent action is where the real magic happens.
Exactly. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the idea of reading more or writing regularly.
Right.
So let's break it down into some manageable steps.
Okay, I like it.
Starting with building a reading habit. What's a good first step for someone who wants to read more consistently?
I think the most crucial thing is to start small.
Okay.
Like aiming for just 10 minutes of reading a day
Yeah.
can feel much less daunting than trying to tackle a whole book at once.
Right. It lowers the barrier.
Yeah, it lowers that initial barrier
Yeah.
and makes it easier to just get started.
So it's about making it feel achievable.
Exactly.
And another helpful tip I've heard is to link your reading to an existing habit.
Yeah, like habit stacking.
Yeah, habit stacking.
For example, if you always have a cup of coffee in the morning,
Yeah.
make it a point to read for a few minutes while you enjoy your coffee.
Or if you have a set routine before you go to bed, try swapping out a few minutes of screen time with a physical book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Habit stacking can be really effective.
And for those who find it hard to carve out dedicated reading time,
Yeah.
audiobooks can be a game changer.
Audiobooks.
You can listen while you're commuting,
Yeah.
exercising, doing chores around the house.
Yeah, audiobooks are fantastic for fitting reading into those in-between moments.
So just to summarize,
Yeah.
building a reading habit, start small.
Yeah, just a few minutes a day.
Yeah. Pair it with an existing routine.
Yeah, and consider audiobooks as a flexible option.
Okay, now let's tackle writing.
Okay.
How can someone begin to write more consistently even if they don't consider themselves a writer?
I think the biggest hurdle for a lot of people with writing is the pressure to be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to aim for a masterpiece every time you sit down to write. Just start by simply getting your thoughts down on paper
Yeah.
without judgment.
Yeah, don't judge yourself.
No.
Yeah.
And just like with reading, you can start incredibly small. Aim to write just one sentence or
Yeah.
one paragraph a day.
Yeah.
The goal is to build the habit not to produce a finished product immediately.
Right. You're just building that consistency.
Yeah. Lowering the stakes makes it much easier to overcome that initial mental block.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, write for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't worry about who else might read it.
Yeah.
This can make the process much more enjoyable and much less intimidating.
And it's also worth remembering that reading and writing are mutually reinforcing skills.
Absolutely. They go hand in hand.
The more you read, the more you'll naturally absorb different writing styles
Right.
and improve your own ability to express yourself.
Absolutely.
So the key takeaway for both reading and writing
Yeah.
is the power of compounding small, consistent efforts.
Yeah, even dedicating just a few minutes each day can lead to significant growth over time.
So if you were to give one starting tip
Yeah.
for reading, what would it be?
Find a book or an article on a topic that genuinely fascinates you.
What about for writing?
For writing, release the pressure.
Yeah.
Just jot down one thought,
Yeah.
one idea,
Yeah.
one sentence.
That's it.
That's it.
Start small,
Yeah,
stay consistent, and you'll be amazed at the transformative power of reading and writing.
absolutely.
And we'd love to hear from you. What are some small steps that you plan to take to build your reading and writing habits?
Let us know in the comments or send us a message. We're always excited to hear from you.
And if you found this helpful, please consider subscribing and leaving a review. It really helps us reach more people.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. Keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep growing.
We'll catch you next time on the Daily English Talk podcast. Happy reading and writing.
Take care, everyone.